Hey, here is what Carl White and I want you to do. And if that interests you, you're listening to the right episode of the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kyles, and my co-pilot or pilot in charge, Carl White. We got
Brother,
something
I'm just
going on.
along for the ride. I'm the diesel mechanic out there, switching on the engine. You're in there. You're the one that's in that big fancy suit. You're sitting there in the cabin, and the the
And
the
I'm just grooving through life, man.
the
Just
steward and the stewardess is bringing you
oh
coffee, and
my
they're
goodness.
making sure your
Wow.
chair's comfortable enough. And I'm
It's
out there
fluff. I
busting my
got
knuckles,
fluff.
keeping the engine running.
Hey, well, we got something that we want you to do because we know it'll help you get more business. That's pretty cool, huh?
All right, so yeah, sometimes we come up with ideas and things for you to ponder. This is a here, go do this
Go do
kind
this.
of thing.
Yep.
So, Steve, I think a lot of times, I think you look. We all know that when we pick up the phone and make phone calls to real estate agents that are actively doing business,
Yep.
we'll close more loans because we
Yep.
all know that, or if you don't know, you're going to know now that 67% of all the loans that close with the loan officer that the real estate agent recommended. 67%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea of going and buying leads and you know doing 57,000 TikTok videos thinking you're going to get some actual leads that's actually going to close, but it's just not that's at least today that's not the case, right? So, but I think the thing that holds a lot of people back from making the calls is they go, Steve, I feel like I need to bring something to the table.
Yes.
Right. I think and we could do a whole nother episode on that because I think that's a little bit of a maybe just a little bit of crap that's circulating in our head.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought the thing we bring of value is the real estate agent has a lead. We take that lead to closing. We put that commission check in that realtor's pocket and we help convert that person. That's the thing of value. So, providing them an article or blog post or a little 30-second video or something like that, that doesn't put money in their pocket, right? You put
Hey,
money.
while it's cool though, what you've taught me is this: if you're not careful, you will not take action because you're looking for the next thing of value, and it's more important to take action than to find the next widget or piece of value. However, you got value, give it to them. But the biggest thing is don't let it be a barrier to making the calls, because if you make the calls, you're going to get more business if you ask for the business.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
So and this is not a new idea, just FYI. This circulates around in our Freedom Club from time to time. We hear this one, and we heard it just here a couple of weeks ago, and it's like,
it's
man,
so good. I
keep
took it
forgetting
back to
about
my
this
branch.
one.
I'm like, y'all, we're doing it this week. It's like you just forget. It's so good.
It's so easy. So so if you want to add a value add to your agents, find a legal, ethical way to put more money in their pocket.
That's it.
Right. And find the quickest, easiest, and most direct line to making that happen. In other words, don't have like a 15-step process. Well, I'm going to help you build your web page, and then I'm going to help you drive traffic to it, and then I'm going to do this, and then we're going to do that. Like, what's a real quick, simple, like 1-2-step process for them to get more deals and you to be the one responsible for making that happen, right? And by the way, it's not going out and buying a bunch of Zillow leads and throwing it in the back of your pickup truck and dumping that on their desk. They don't want it, right? That's the truth. They don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they're not calling the leads. You're not calling leads. Everybody's walking by there like it's a stink pile. It's like,
because it is.
Because it is. Right? You don't want to. So the last thing you want to do is teach agents, hey, you hang out with me and I'm going to dump a bunch of
bad leads.
Bad leads that's going to suck all your time and everything. You're not going to get closing. Maybe 1 out of 100 to close and the other 99, that does not work. So what does work, Steve? What's a real simple thing they can do?
Hey, well, this is fantastic. And it's a way to show your agent partners that you are truly partnering. You're a true partner with them. And so one of the things is when you're making your Monday calls, simply asking this: who did you work with in the past 60 days that should have moved forward but didn't, that I can reach out to and see if we can wake them up together? And I think it's so powerful because like your value is the ability to help wake up. Like the agent got leads or clients in the last 60 days that should have moved forward, but they didn't. And I'll tell you what happened. Carl, they're just like everybody else. They somehow fell through the crack. They weren't organized. It wasn't a clear follow-up process, same way every time. And when you say something like that, their first thought is, oh my gosh, man, Steve, what about 1, 2, and 3? And then their next thought is, you'd really help me convert these leads and see if we can't turn it into another transaction. And there's nothing more valuable than when they feel like you're invested in their success. And it's doing two things. It's giving you people to call, to work, to convert. And it's showing them that not only am I enough, but we're real partners in this, and you'll see remarkable results. So here's what it is. Who did you work with in the past 60 days that should have moved forward, but didn't, that I can call and see if we can wake them up? And I love saying it that way. See if we can wake them up, because unknowingly I just partnered with them, not see if I can wake them up, see if we can wake them up. Because listen, I get them woke up, Carl. I'm bringing them right back to you. But the good news is I'm going to get them qualified to make sure it's a good use of your time for when you go show them houses, and let's get going. So who do you have?
So a couple things about this. Number one, I might would go back longer than 60 days.
Yeah.
So, and maybe I did this wrong, but I've been using the script of who did you work with this year that didn't buy a house that should have?
Yeah.
And
hey, I'll tell you, the only reason why I put a timeline on it is because some of them you're going to get like 1,000 leads, because they'll give you every. I like it to temper to see what's coming.
I get it.
I'm just saying personally, it's not that you don't want them, but for me, it was just, okay, let's see what they got 60 days. Hey, what about 60 days before that? Hey, let's look at the whole year.
Yeah, I get it.
Sometimes when you say the whole year, the challenge is they're like, well, man, they're starting to think in January, and they're like, I don't know. But if I say in the last 60 days, they're like, hey, well, I was talking to this, and this person.
I get it.
And then you go back further.
I get it. All right. So let's talk about how we wake these people back up with them.
All right, let's do it.
So there are a couple facts here. Number one, what a lot of people don't know, including the real estate agents, is that, and these are real numbers.
Yes, this is good.
Is that from the first time somebody contacts a real estate agent until they buy,
yeah,
the numbers are shocking. So 15% buy in the first 90 days. So in other words, from the time that real estate agent first gets that, hey, I'm interested.
Yep.
Only 15 of those that buy, only 15% buy in the first 90 days, 85% buy after 90 days. And so, and everybody's fighting after the 15% and ignoring the 85%. And so I'll point that stat out to the agents that, hey, did you know that 15% buy in the first 90 days and 85% of those that buy after 90 days? I'm going to wake them back up. And how I'm going to do it, Realtor Steve, is I'm going to find out their why. Like, I'm going to ask them, why were they moving? And because what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what that pain is that they're having that made them reach out to you in the first place. Because nobody reaches out to say, hey, I want to buy a new house unless they have a reason.
Yep.
What's the reason? The reason is I needed a home office because I'm tired of working in the kitchen and the kids coming in. I want to get out in the country. I want to move toward the city. I want to be further, closer to the office. I no longer go to the office. I want to be more out in the countryside. The kids are all moved out. I want to downside and save some money from my retirement. Like, why did I want to move? And I'm going to find out why they moved, Steve, by simply having conversations with them. And then I'm going to do a thing that's called twisting the knife.
Yeah.
Right. Where I'm going to find out why they moved and do a thing called future casting.
That's right.
Like, gee, boy, how much more productive would you be not working at the kitchen table, but actually having an office? And I bet you could be more productive, get your business done. Heck, you might be able to get done in 6 hours. What used to take you 8. Now you got an extra 2 free hours. What would you do with that free 2 hours that you have? I'm going to have those kinds of conversations with these people. And that's why I'm going to wake them up. So number one, I'm going to find out what their why is and remind them that problem that they're looking to solve is still there.
It's still there. Yep.
And then number two is I'm going to get them to a thing called future casting to imagine that they already have that problem solved. What does that feel like? And if they can start to feel like having an extra bedroom for the nursery, or whatever that thing is, having the swimming pool in, if they can start to imagine,
I
visualize the
love that.
benefit of
I
having it,
love that.
those
Yeah.
people tend to move forward. And so, Steve, that's something that I offer to do here with you. And you give me enough of these people to call on, we'll convert some of these. And that's not a false promise, by the way. You call these people, find out why they're why, and twist the knife a little bit, and get them to future cast about
What it
what the
does
fix
for
of.
them, the emotion, the heart. See,
Mm,
you were talking about that this week, and I've watched you masterfully do it in several of our conversations over the last week. It's just we think like, hey, I want to buy a house, but no, what does that do for you? Hey, what would that feel like? Once you get them into their heart and emotion, they're revved up, ready to
brother,
go.
if they're wanting a bigger backyard so they can
Yeah,
hold barbecues,
yeah.
I want them smelling the bacon.
Oh
You
yeah.
follow me?
Imagine what it'll be like with the kids, chasing each other, and you can hear them giggling down the hallway as they get ready to launch into the pool, and you smell the barbecue.
Yes, I want that. If they want to have a little garden in the backyard, I want them
Yeah,
tasting the tomatoes in their head, right? And you
it's
do
so
that.
powerful, man.
It's a game. Boy, how relaxing that would be to be out in the garden, and you're doing your own,
Yeah.
and you invite your neighbors over,
Mm,
and you'll have a good farmer's dinner, and it all came from your backyard. How cool is that? Like
yeah,
what? Now, me, I have zero interest in growing a garden, right? But
yeah.
but that's their dream, not mine.
Hmm.
And like
Hey,
the lovely Mrs. White and I are looking for a house up in North Carolina right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
for just kind of a weekend thing. And I was talking to an agent the other day, and he was future casting me, man.
Oh,
This
come
was
on.
just yesterday. Yeah, I love him, man. I like the guy
Yeah.
already, right? So he said, well, what are you looking for? I said, well, we're debating. Do we want to live on a lake, or do we want to have a little mountain view? And he said, well, who says you have to choose between those two, Carl? What if you could have both? Dude, can you imagine sitting on your back deck, and
What?
you look over the
He's doing it.
you look over the and see the lake, and the only thing that looks better than the lake is you look over to the left and you can see the valley down below.
My
And it's
goodness.
like endless of miles.
Yeah.
Brother, tell me about that morning coffee, sitting out there looking at that
With the lovely Mrs.
with the
White.
lovely Mrs. White. I'm sitting there going, dude, I
My
started
man.
visualizing it, and it took me a couple. I was like, hey, he's future casting me here,
Oh
But
yeah.
dude, it worked because
Oh yeah.
I have not been able to get that picture out of my head the last couple of days that we talked, and
Wow.
so very effective. So, all right, give me the script one more time.
Yeah, who did you work with in the past 60 days, or insert in the timeline you want, that should have moved forward but didn't, that I can reach out to and see if we can help them, and see if we can help wake them up. So
Right,
let me say it
and
again. Who did you work with in the past 60 days that should have moved forward but didn't, that I can reach out to and see if we can wake them up?
get you to the closing table with
Yeah,
them.
and get you to the closing table. I
Yeah,
love that.
I
And I would add that. Hold on. And get you to, that's good, the closing table. Hey, let me do one other thing as well. If you're listening and you say, hey, when I'm future casting, I'm having conversations, if in these conversations you have things like saying, hey, I'm going to wait for rates to come down, what if home prices don't continue to go up, maybe I should wait. There's really 4 or 5 top objections buyers are having. And for our members, I did a whole done for you content on the top 4 objections buyers and sellers are having in today's market and what you can say to overcome those objections. And it will really help when we're talking about future casting, as well as what to say and how to get them motivated and help your agents. That content is done for you for members. So just log in, and it's the top 4 objections that prevent buyers and sellers from getting off the fence, or send it.
what if dude, what some of the people listening to this aren't our paying members right now.
Yeah.
I know you find that hard to believe, but there are a few, not super nice people, but a little bit slower adopters. We
Yeah.
can't leave them out in the rain. This is way too good. What can they do?
Hey, go to freedomplanningcall.com. And so myself, Carl, one of us will jump on a call. We'll show you the PowerPoint, and you could just take a screenshot. Wouldn't you agree? We'll let them
How,
look at
how
the,
easy is that?
yeah,
Who
super easy. Jump on a
who
call. We'll
who
show them to
wouldn't
you.
do that?
Ah, hey, well, I'll tell you, it's so powerful. I was on a call with one of our top agents, Carl, literally on Wednesday. And he's done, I don't know, 60 transactions in the last 12 months. Great guy. And I started talking about it. He said, dude, where are you getting that information? I said, no, we create, like, we put it together. And he's like, I need it. And you know what he did? I sent it to him and I said, it's yours. He said, dude, it's going to help me get more people motivated to buy. And I think when we're having conversations, you're looking for 4 or 5 talking points that they're already saying in their head. So when it comes up, you've got the right information to help them get motivated. It helps you, your agents. Go to freedomplanningcall.com, freedomplanningcall.com, and we'll give it to you. And then for our members, it's already there. And I show you the class where I did it with a bunch of agents with the PowerPoint. You can have that and it's yours. So, hey, I love it. Great script, great way to add value. Who did you work with in the past 60 days that should have moved forward but didn't, that I can reach out to see if we can help wake them up and get you to the closing table? What a great script.
Who would say no to that? I mean, that's look, if you're looking for value add, I don't know, actually do some value add.
Dude,
right.
That's
the name of the game. So great little script. So I think that's about it. Anything else?
That's it. freedomplanningcall.com. And just remember this, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See you.